So the EFL is back, and Easter is upon us yet again, and it starts right now with the Good Friday 2026 predictions. Hi again, it's me. Today we're doing my EFL Good Friday 2026 predictions for the set of fixtures for this game week, and like ourselves at least is a 7 nights today if we get over nice. And make sure to go over there and try and get ourselves up to 300 subs by the summer if we get to win 3 things gold. And yep, with the first night, the day before Good Friday, Cambridge take on Swindon now. Whoo! 4th versus 5th. Who is hyped last in the event? It was in County Ground for the Swindon's first home match of the season. And they beat Cambridge 3-2. So what a game that was for Swindon, and what a win it was as well. Not only that, it was Swindon's first win of the season in their second game of the league in that season, or in this season. But yeah, but so a tight game to watch really last. Yeah, I just said that. But Cambridge just lost 1-0 to Barnet. Swindon drawn 1-1 on the Fleetwood at home on Saturday. So yes, it's gonna be tight. But I think that Swindon will win here. They'll be fighting for automatics, and I think there still will be a 2-1 win to Swindon. Cambridge are looking concernedly slippily. And then to the 12th for the logical kick off now. For Doncaster to Mansfield now. Ooh, it's not the main one, but both sat in the table. They're both going to be safe for another season. They're going to be in the League One for another season, so this will be a League One match for next season. But it's going to be a tight game to watch, really. They're both in the middle. They're going to chill here. It's going to be a chill 1-1 draw at Doncaster. Now, we're at the Riverside. Sadly, I might not be able to watch this game because I will be in the cinemas watching the Mario Galaxy movie in the cinemas. And it starts with Middlesbrough taking Millwall now, second against 4th. Oh my days. And Ipswich is in the middle, and Ipswich are not even playing on Good Friday because they're opponents in the FA Cup quarter-finals. And yeah, what an opportunity for them to draw and let Ipswich have a chance, because Ipswich will end up having 2 games in hands, and all against South Coast teams. So yes, it's going to be a tight game to watch, really. Last event, Middlesbrough went up to the Den and beat Der and win to maintain their winning run. They had a really good start, Middlesbrough, and now they're looking quite. Mill has been looking quite decent. They've drawn 1-1 to Ipswich 2 weeks ago, but it's gonna be tight. I think it's gonna be another tight fence here. I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw at the Riverside. And then heading back down to earth now with Leicester taking Preston now in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Oh my days, 7 games left. Leicester City, they're sat 22nd. Can they stay up? King Power's gonna be at his fullest volume. It's gonna be at their volume's gonna be at the max, or one of the maximums. Their volume will be at the King Power. It's going to be quite intense. Last in the event, Preston beat Leicester 2-1 and suffered Leicester's first defeat of the season in the league. And in their second game, Leicester lost. When they lost, well, no, that's what happened. But Preston are chilling in mid-table. Leicester, I don't know, but they might be a League One club in 26-27 season. Oh my days, they could be a League One club in 4 months' time. Oh my days, this is going to be interesting, but I have a feeling there's going to be goals here. I think a 2-2 draw at King Power. And then to Oxford and Hull now. Ooh, 2 stories. Oxford's fighting for survival, Hull is fighting for the playoffs, but Hull is probably the team that is most likely to slip out of the playoffs and probably get replaced by either Southampton, Derby or Wrexham. Those are the 3 picks that might actually go on and overtake Hull and replace them in the playoffs. Yeah. But last night, Ollie McBurn scored the winner for Hull, the late winner for Hull in the last time they met, and it was 3-2 win to Hull. It's going to be a tight game to watch, really. It could go either way here. Oxford's been on a roll here, recently, but we're an international break and it's at 23rd. Yes, it's going to be tight. I think Oxford may actually hold on to Hull, really. I think a 1-1 draw at Oxford. And then the West Brom taking Wrexham now. West Brom went up to Blue and Ashton Gate 2 weeks ago and suddenly just scored an absolute open goal I've ever seen. Then that Bristol City defence was shocking. Absolutely shocking it was. Bristol City. We'll get on the ground around in just a minute. But West Brom, I think they're going to be staying up now. I think they're walking away with it. They're walking away from the drop. I really think they're going to be like, alright. Last night, Wrexham beat West Brom. West Brom beat Wrexham 3-2. So they could go on and do the double with West Brom, but I don't know. It's going to be tight again. It's going to be tight. I think a 1-1 draw out of Hawthorns because Wrexham is also fighting for the playoffs and West Brom is trying to fight for survival, at which I think they will be. I think they will be safe. And the Ugly taking Portsmouth now. Oh my days, Ugly just can't stop winning constantly. Look at them, they're in the top 10. Oh my days, I am scared. Should I really be scared? Yeah, because in the next weekend they're facing an East Anglia derby at Carrow Road, and look at that. That is just terrifying. That is just terrifying. But yeah, Portsmouth on the other hand, yeah, they just got battered by QPR 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago, so times have probably changed for Portsmouth. But who blooming knows here? I think Ugly may probably ace her against Portsmouth. Sadly, I think a 3-1 win to Ugly at Carrow Road. And then they're clawing on Bristol City now. Ooh, Roy Hodgson is now the new Bristol City manager. For now, I think. But yeah, both teams are neighbours in the table. It's 18th versus 16th. And Bristol City losing 1-0 to West Brom to sadly have their manager from Austria sadly sacked. Just on the 27th of March. And I heard the news that Roy Hodgson is the new Bristol City manager. That is just insane. 12 years ago, they were 2014 World Cup for England. He was England manager back then. Now look at that, 12 years later. 12 years later, he's the Bristol City manager in the Championship. Can they still make little players? I don't think so. I can't see it happen. They're too far now. They're too far, but I think Bristol City, I think they'll get a win. A 1-0 win to Bristol City. Then to League One now with Blackpool and Exeter now. 20th versus 21st. Oh my, ding, ding, ding. Last minute, Exeter annihilated Blackpool. And speaking of that, I had Blackpool in my fantasy team for that game week. Yeah, they got smoked 4-1. I got embarrassed, but yeah. Yeah, and they're both right next to each other in the table. One's in the relegation zone, other just went out of the relegation zone to replace them, and Exeter replaced Blackpool in the relegation zone, so yes, it's gonna be tight. What a win it was for Blackpool on the weekend against Burton 1-0, winning it late. Exeter drawing the lane Orient to end their losing run, but I don't know. But I think Blackpool is gonna win again here. I think it's gonna be another 1-0 win to Blackpool for the Swan. And then to Lincoln team and everyone now. According to calculations, Lincoln 4 points away from the Championship. 4 points away. They could be promoted on Easter Monday. Easter Monday, Lincoln City could be promoted to the Championship. Who blooming knows? Just who knows? And Aislinn, yeah, last night Aislinn actually beat Lincoln 2-0 at the Cherry Record Stadium, but yeah. Lincoln on top of the table, so and Aislinn are just in the middle, chilling. I think that Aislinn will be in the League One from next season, and Lincoln will probably be in the Championship. But I think that Lincoln will win here again. I think a 2-0 win to Lincoln plus 1. Lincoln will get on to a 1 step closer to the Championship. And heading to Plymouth taking Bolton now. Plymouth are storming up the table. They are 9th place in the table and Bolton are 3rd, losing to Port Vale. If Bolton messes up again, and I said Lincoln win, oh my days, does that mean that Lincoln might get promoted earlier? More earlier, I should say, but I don't know. I do not know. But last night, Bolton beat Plymouth 2-0 at the Touchy Community Stadium. But this could be the moment Bolton mess up and Lincoln could be a step closer. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think Plymouth said that 3 times now, but I have a feeling Plymouth will win against Bolton. I think a 2-1 win to Plymouth, and Bolton's going to mess up, and Lincoln win, does that mean Lincoln might be promoted earlier? I don't know. Lincoln into Huddersfield and Reading now. Ooh. Yeah, both teams chasing the playoffs. Reading are 6th place in the Reading are 6th in League One after being Wigan 3-0 on the weekend, and Huddersfield had a week off due to some of their players went out for international duty. But yeah, if it's going to be a tight game to watch, really, hasn't it? Huddersfield beat Reading 2-0. Huddersfield beat Reading in that, yeah. But it's going to be a tight game to watch, really. It could go either way here. Huddersfield has been quite recently. I think they're going to be spending another in League One. But Reading, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I think it's going to be another tight 1-1 draw at Huddersfield. And then the Stockport take on Wickham now. Ooh, it's another playoff chasing game. Oh my days, how many chasing playoff games have we got this game week or in this Good Friday? Oh, I don't know, but it's a lot, I should say. But yeah, Stockport are 5th, and Wickham are 8th. Wickham beat Port Vale 4-0. Stockport beat Davidson 3-0. So yeah, it could be tight, but last minute at Edgley Park, Wickham annihilated Stockport 5-0 on Bonfire Night in 2024. So could history repeat itself again here? But could history repeat itself? I don't know, but I have a feeling. I think there's going to be goals here. I have a feeling both teams will just not accept defeat here. I think a 2-2 draw at Edgley Park. And then to Luton to compete with now. Ooh, who would have thought we would see Luton Town 11th place in League One? They might be spending another season in League One, and they were literally a Premier League club just 2 seasons ago. I swear, there's gonna be some consequences happening at Luton if they don't get promoted. And yeah, that's what's happening. They're not getting promoted, and they're not even in the top 6. They're not even in the top 10. And their neighbours, and them and Peterborough are neighbours. Yeah, 11th versus 12th. But yes, last time Luton beat Peterborough 2-0. So yeah, happy days for Luton on that game. So yes, it's gonna be tight, but I think Luton needs to win this, and I think they must, and I think they will. I think a 2-1 win to Luton for this one. Then heading down to League 2 now. MK Dons take on Barrow now. Ooh, second from bottom. And last time that Barrow played a game, it was bottom against top. And Barrow on all the odds beat Bromley at home to end Bromley's unbeaten run. Can't even believe that. And yeah, and if Barrow beats MK Dons, I don't know what I'll be saying, but it could be the biggest wild card yet of the season, being first and second. That's just mental. That'll be mental. But yes, it's going to be tight, facing off the team that has the most goals in the league this season, and MK Dons, second place. Yeah, lost 1-0 to Salford in the weekend, but it's going to be a tight game to watch, really. But I think MK Dons will probably ace through it. I think there will be goals. I think Barrow will probably score. I think a 5-2 win to MK Dons might be on the cards. And then to a big clash at the bottom. Newport versus Crawley, right above the drop zone. 22nd versus 21st. And Crawley and Newport with both important wins in the weekend. Newport beating Shrewsbury 1-0, and Crawley beat Gillingham very late on 2-0 at Crawley. So wow, we were all for that one. And last night, Newport beat Crawley 2-0 at Crawley. So yeah, Crawley having the worst away record in the league. That's must be a question to be asked and an answer, to be honest, for Crawley. But it's gonna be tight, like I say all the time in every game. But it is. Every game's a tight game. Every game's a tight game. But I think a 1-1 draw is happening at Newport. In the London Derby now with Barnet and Bromley. Now, Bromley, their unbeaten run, their 22-game unbeaten run, sadly comes to an end in the league. Last defeat before the Barrow game was November the 29th, 2025, and it was against Walsall in that third against first clash. Not anymore, because their last defeat came from last Saturday, losing 2-1 to Barrow. I knew Barrow have been quite concerningly slippery, but yeah, they need to act now. They need to start winning or gaining points, because if they don't, they're going to be. They might actually bottle. No, Bromley manager Andy, the Barrow manager said, call us Operation Title, Operation Champions." I don't know if they're going to get champions, but I think they will get in the top 3. I think because they have one of the hardest runs of the season to the end, from now to the end of the season. Bromley's got the hardest one. They started to face MK Dons, Cambridge, Salford, and Walsall. I don't know if Bromley could hold it, but Barnet beat Cambridge 1-0 on Saturday at the High, so well done for Barnet. But I think it's going to be another tight game to watch. Really, I think Bromley is going to drop more points here. 2-2 draw at Barnet. And the Bristol Rovers are complete with now. Ooh, Bristol Rovers is doing what a form they're on. What should I say? 16th place in the league, beating Accrington 2-0 on Saturday. Their home form, before Steve Evans got in, their home form and their form was just horrendous. It was a nightmare to watch. 10 losses in a row in the league. Absolutely shocking and embarrassing and just scary for Bristol Rovers. But look at that, what a turnaround of the season. 16th place and one of the best forms in the league. As insane for Bristol Rovers and for Fleetwood. Yeah, Fleetwood chilling in the mid-table. Drawn 1-1 this morning on Saturday at County Ground. But can they actually go on to the Memorial Stadium and get something there? I think Bristol Rovers might be a bit too much for them in their form-wise. And I know Fleetwood is above Bristol Rovers, but I think Bristol Rovers probably ace through against Fleetwood. I think a 2-1 win to Bristol Rovers for this one. And then the Shrewsbury and Tranmere now. Ooh, both teams are neighbours in the table. And yeah, Shrewsbury and Tranmere, I know they're both going to be safe, but Tranmere, I don't know if they're not going to be 100% safe. They need to make not a win. They only need to collect 5 more points to make sure they're safe for another season. But the way they've been going, they have been acting like they have been the worst team in the league this season, or in 2026 in general in the league too. That's just, I can't remember seeing them win at all in this calendar year in 2026. But yeah, but it's gonna be tight. Shrewsbury's been quite form recently in March, but yeah, that February form was just a distant memory now for Shrewsbury. But I think it's gonna be tight. I think it's gonna be tight. I think a 0-0 draw is on the cards in Shrewsbury. And then the Salford and Ross County now. Woo! It's 6th versus 3rd. And Salford City beating MK Dons 1-0 on the weekend. And Ross County winning against Harrogate 2-0 on the lunchtime kickoff on that international break weekend. Yeah. And yes, last night, I think it was. I think Ross County beat Salford, I think. But yeah, but it's really a tight game to watch, really, like I say all the time. But it always is, but it could both meet each other in the playoffs, or they could be in League One together next season, but who blew knows? It's going to be a tight fence. I think a 1-1 draw at Salford. And then to the 8 o'clock kickoff now in the Championship. Coventry can take on Derby now. Ooh. Yeah, there's no games in 5:30 because the game after on 5:30 was Southampton Ipswich, but Southampton's in the FA Cup quarterfinals, so there's been no game to be put on that 5:30. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, Coventry are getting closer and closer to the Premier League. Derby are following footprints to the playoffs. Can Derby make it to the playoffs? Can Coventry get promoted to the Premier League? If they win, they get a step closer. But last night it was a goal fest at Pride Park at Derby, 5-3 to Coventry. But could we see a replay like that again here? I don't know. I think Coventry lost both of their strikers because of their injuries. But yes, it's going to be tight. I say that all the time. But I think that Coventry will probably edge through against Derby here. I think a 2-1 win to Coventry for this one. And if you're wondering, here's the rest of my predictions for this Good Friday set of fixtures right here, and the fantasy team. And if it's my predictions, you can comment down below on what your predictions will be. And if you found this video, I've enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!